Hello and welcome to O2 Inside Line Live. I'm James Haskell and this is the fragrant Nolli Waterman. You're here for a huge England versus Canada, the final game of the summer series. Nolli, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, and I'm pleased to say I have someone better looking than you to talk to. Gabriel Oghre, James, as your ex-Wasps teammate, has been calling you Gabs, Gabby, thinking he's your friend. What can we call you?
You can call me Gabs if you
Gabs?
want.
Okay.
Anything really.
Okay.
But James didn't actually speak to me when we were at Wasps.
Oi, I did speak to you. I told you to collect that bag, make that cup of tea. Don't do that. So you were going to go with that story and I didn't talk to you because she's actually going to say
Genuine.
that I reckon
Twice?
it's a bit too big time. Twice.
No, twice I reckon. And it was that. Make me a cup of tea.
Is that how bad it was? I'm an awful person. You know, sometimes when we do these shows, we talk to people that I used to play with, and they go, "You used to do this, you used to do that." I'm like, "Did I? I was that bad?" I thought it was a big friendly giant.
We need to
Enough
hear
about
from
me.
Gabs. Yeah,
Not
enough about
me.
you, James. Massive win against the Americans last week. What was the mood like in camp? Was it pretty decent? Was everyone pretty happy? Because there were some errors in the game. The Americans did get some points on the board.
Yeah. Obviously we were happy to get the win. That's what we wanted. Like you said, the Americans did get some points on the board, and there was areas where we could have done better. From forwards perspective, we were pretty disappointed to concede 2 maul tries, and that was a massive focus point for us in the week. But you know, it's been a good training week now, and boys are going to look to prove some wrongs today.
Listen, this is your first time in England camp.
Yeah.
How exciting was it to get that call, and how have you found it?
Oh, I was so buzzing. Obviously, originally I didn't get the call, and then unfortunately someone dropped out because of a track and trace. So I was even more shocked to get it, and I was absolutely buzzing, and I couldn't wait to get it. Really.
You haven't got a relative that works in track and trace, have you?
I may have just made the text myself and sent it.
I love that. Most people are initially quite intimidated by Eddie Jones.
Yeah.
Obviously, when I was in the camp a long time ago, we were always quite fearful of him.
Yeah.
How have you found him?
I mean, yeah, I've heard people say that and stuff. He's honestly been amazing with me ever since I've been here. As soon as I got here, he made me feel welcome. Immediately, you know what he expects of you, and I think a good coach does that. But he's also very warm and friendly if you work hard. So, but he'll let you know if you're not. So I think he's got a very good balance, very good balance.
And are the rumours true? Are his sessions really brutal?
They are brutal.
Are they a step up from club?
Yeah, they're a step up from club. The first week, I was almost sick in one of the sessions. But genuinely, I was dying, and that it just makes it even more importance on your recovery. So
can you just tell the fans of O2 Inside Line Live just what is that step up? Like how is it? Just intensity? Is it speed? Is it just communication? What is the difference between club and international level?
I think it's a bit of everything, to be honest. Like the intensity, of course, the speed, physicality, and the knowledge and stuff, and people having high standards for each other as well. So what they demand of you and getting through all of that. And I think a bit as well in the first week was people's nerves and stuff as well, not knowing what to expect. But yeah, I'd say that's the biggest step up.
Because you sometimes get in those sessions, obviously people looking to impress. You get the real keno, the training nauseas. Yeah. Are you a super keno where people have to calm you down, or are you someone that needs pumping up?
I'm a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm chilled off the pitch.
Right.
But when I get on there, game mode.
I'm interested. What's the vibe like between you and the other hookers in particular? Because obviously it's been incredible that you've made this step up, but it must have been really tough to not get the call last week and this week.
Yeah.
What's the vibe like between the three of you? Do you get stuck in? Do you give them a little bit of a dig in training?
I mean, yeah, of course I'm gutted to not have got the call up, but for the vibe with us three, I think there's lots of healthy competition between us. There's no hatred towards each other. Everyone wants to get selected. Everyone wants to put their best foot forward. So obviously we go hard at each other in training, but that's just sport really, isn't it?
That's a real positive actually, because I think a lot of times you sometimes meet players who are like player haters, who walk around scowling at their opposition, where you don't select the team, because if you did, you'd be in there every week. So
we started to.
But say, I've started. Does it sometimes descend into a real physical element? Where does the competition see? Scrum sessions, mauling sessions? When do you see the opportunity just to fill in one of these lads?
I mean, yeah, it's more in those close encounters really, isn't it? Like scrum sessions, you're opposite each other, you're giving a little bit on the head-to-head. to be fair, last week I was 24th man in the warm-up and we did a little touch game before. Curtis threw me, like I was in front of him, he grabbed my bib and swung me and threw me off the pitch.
There's nothing worse than that.
I was fuming.
The problem is, actually, I was part of a warm-up once where something similar happened and one player punched the other one, cut him, and had to get stitches. It was like, lads, the game hasn't started. So you haven't got your revenge. You haven't waited till he's crossing the car park at night and just opened the car door on him.
I actually haven't.
I was using the notebook for later. I'm on it. Look at that intensity in those eyes.
So, with regards your friends and family back at home, have you been hearing from people that you weren't really friends with and they now want to be your mate because you're in England camp, asking for the gossip?
Not really. Obviously, you've got people that are just interested, as you would be. A couple of messages like that, mostly just from my close friends and family, really, the ones that I've been talking to since I've been here.
And are they asking for the stash? I presume you got a big bag that given to you to leave, and they're asking to shotgunning anything?
Yeah, a couple of shotguns and stuff. My mum's told me I've got to save some for a family friend already, but
mums do that a lot.
Exactly.
Mums ask you to keep kit, sign stuff, give that away, do this.
Yeah.
You've got to love them, otherwise you only get one of them. Just do as you're told. I'm 36 and I'm still doing what I'm told. The final question I want to ask you is, sometimes coming into an England environment can be very intense. All the stuff you've talked about can be a little bit intimidating. You know, you're constantly being judged. For some players, they think, do you know what, I'm quite happy at club level. Has this lit a fire under you to go, do you know what, I want more? When I go back to my club, I'm going to raise my standards to get another taste of this?
Oh, 100%. Being here has been such an amazing experience for me, and I've enjoyed every minute of it, really. And it just made me want to take the feedback on board and work on it and try and come back again. I think this has been a unique experience because it's been a lot of players that are in similar positions. It's their first camp, so everyone's been quite accommodating to each other and helped each other through it. And I think a lot of people in that boat where we've had a taste now and we're hungry for it. We want to come back. And
what is it, your biggest takeaway from this? As a rugby player, as a hooker, what have they said? This is what's going to get you a white shirt.
For me, it's just that consistency of set piece. I mean, to be at this level internationally, it's a massive part of the game, so that's got to be on point. You see the likes of Jamie George, Cowan Dickey, and they're experts at it, so you've got to be on job with that. So that's the biggest thing I've taken out.
Yeah, it's so good to talk to you. Listen,
Thank
that's the third time we've spoken. It's been
it's been amazing.
Now you're big time. You've got the rose.
Weren't you teammates for a few years?
Well, I feel like really warm to you now.
I'm worried about it more now than I had in 2
I'm a bit worried about the crazy eyes bit for the revenge, but we'll catch you. We'll catch you soon. Good luck. We're going to talk to some fans now.
See you in a bit.
See you, mate. Bye. So listeners, we come over here. The most important part is a little spin. You're welcome. One of the most important part of this entire day is the fans. What are your names and where do you come from?
So my name's Kat and I'm from Surrey.
James, also from Surrey.
How good is it to be back in the stadium watching sport with a crowd?
So amazing. It's just so nice to have people here and to celebrate with. It's awesome.
And you're loving the stash. I mean, is this new stuff you've got on yet?
He's newer than I. I'm World Cup.
We didn't buy you any.
So yeah, I know.
How tight's that?
And it's my birthday soon, so you never know.
Well, we'll see what you get.
Yeah, but don't pyre off with just an England polo shirt. I mean, I know Umbro's a great sponsor, but you need to go bigger than that. You're expecting more than a bit of England kit.
Expecting more than
I was about to say, G, if you just buy a polo shirt, you're out and you're here.
So, what are you expecting from today's game? The result was pretty in favour of Wales last week. Are you thinking that we're going to get quite a few England tries to cheer?
Yeah, I think so. With some of the new guys like Marcus Smith's on great attacking form, and you've got people like Adam Radwan with that pace. I think it'll be a really good game today.
I think he's the fastest person rugby's ever seen, ever.
It's mental. He could just storm. His training session was just amazing. Some of the footage.
Did you see that footage on the
England
Rugby Instagram page? Massive plug there.
Yeah.
Where he scored that incredible try.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I've never had wheels like that at all. I don't think I could do that in a car. Well, you got any speed? What would you like?
Yeah, no, not in my full focus.
Right, okay, fine. You've talked about Marcus Smith. You're obviously Quins fans. I can sense that. The way you said the excitement about Marcus Smith, you went there to start with.
They're also from Surrey, so
right, yeah, all around neck of woods. What do you want to see from a fan's point of view for England? What would be make the day for you?
I think it's just good to see some of the new guys coming through. So to get some really good performances out of the new caps, as well as seeing Underhill get back into form would be great.
And are you excited for this new look England side?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting though to see what Eddie does for the autumns, because this is the last time you're going to see these guys for a while. So, and with the World Cup not that long away, it's a really exciting time. really exciting.
I love it. Oh, you know what you're talking about.
They should have the
Yeah.
mics, not us.
Tickets are already booked.
Oh, you're stashed up. I
Yeah.
love it. But listen, thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoy it. Just show me quickly what happens when England score.
Oh God.
Just a
really.
little bit. Just a small. Yes! Cool. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you later. Enjoy the game.
Thank you.
Well, Nolli, we've had an amazing day. Gabby, full of verbose as ever, full of talk. Fans with stash, you know what
You've
they're
made
talking
friends?
about. I've made a friend. Listen, it's about 45 minutes till kick-off. What will be going through the England players' heads now?
Look, I think actually, for the guys that got their first cap last week, this game is probably one of the toughest they will play in their career, because all of the hype, all of the madness from last week, you've got to replicate it this week. And then we've got some new caps. I think by the sounds things, talking to Gabby, talking to a few of the other players, the vibe has been brilliant in the camp. They've worked hard. I'm sure Eddie and the coaches got stuck into them a little bit from some of the errors last week. But this is just another opportunity for them to put their hand up, have fun, and play in front of 10,000 people.
Now, listen, as a refined pundit who does Lions games to England games to all sorts of games, what would you like to see as a bit of a neutral from today's game? You talked about the fact that England they leaked a few penalties last week, couple of tries they wouldn't have liked. Canada are over here, you know, they've got good coaching staff now with Rob Howley. We saw Jamie Cudmore. If you follow me on Instagram, there's a picture of him looking tanned, sexy, and with some of the biggest arms I've ever seen.
Are you jealous?
I was so jealous, upsettingly jealous. What do you want to see from today's game? What would be, as a neutral fan, as a commentator, what would really get you excited?
I think from last week there were some amazing tries. I think it's the bits in between. It's the control. I think England gave away around 17 or so penalties at the breakdown alone. So it's taking that out of the game so that they can actually get some flow, get some continuity. I think the Canadians are going to get stuck into them. I think there were moments against Wales where they ripped into them. But they just couldn't keep hold of the ball. And I feel like there's going to be a high-scoring game for these fans, and there's going to be a decent atmosphere.
Well, listen, we saw a load of England players making their debuts. This game is going to be very exciting. If you're watching at home, please stay tuned. We have so much more to come. You're watching O2 Inside Line Live. At the end of the game, Nolli and I will be joined by 3 of the England players to give you the lowdown of what's been happening in camp, how they felt the game once. So stay tuned on the England Rugby channels and O2, and we'll catch you after the game.